You want sports? We got sports for you right here, Woodward Sports.
Yeah. I play with that gorilla. You hear me?
Okay. You have a Tesla. You float here.
Hi. Boy, things are all off today. I'm just telling you point blank. Things are all off today.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Sean? Happy Friday, first of all. Grand rising to everyone waking up on this lovely, gloomy, rainy, cold Friday morning.
You know, some people really like weather like this. I'm not naming any names.
I like weather like this.
I love weather like this. I love it. I'm serious.
When you're at home by the fireplace with some
nothing
food,
better.
With the fireplace on, feet kicked up, TV on, and just wasting your time.
There is absolutely nothing better. I am so serious. I'm a big fan. It reminds me of the fall. I always do this thing in the fall where you know, I'm a horror movie fan. Like I love horror flicks. And I always take a recharge the battery day in October, you know, where the kids are in school and the house is like just to me, and I sit and watch horror flicks all day, and it is just the most, like, honestly, it's the most relaxing day to me. I just love it, and I always pray that the weather's like this, you know, because it's exactly what you said. I make a fire, and I just chill out. I love it, absolutely love it, but. Today is like living a horror movie right now.
You know why?
Right now, we're living a horror movie.
We got to put out an Amber Alert. We have a lot of people missing today.
Fish is gone. We've missed Fish all week, okay? Art's not here today.
They let him go.
Oh, my gosh.
They let him go.
Don't say that.
Why not?
Because we would never let Art go.
Yes, we will let
What
Art
do we
go.
say what do you say every day, Sean?
Who's
the hardest working person here?
He is.
Fish.
He would,
I mean that.
Okay, yeah, Fish is vital. We have learned that this week because he keeps hacking the audio. But we know we can't function without Art. So.
Fish.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Kennedy, I think your thing worked, like with the computer. I think your
really
thing
hope
worked.
so because I don't have the magic touch like
tell
Fish.
Definitively.
I can't even get this Wi-Fi to work for me, who's supposed to be commenting on Facebook. I can't even. So, it's a mess today.
There are a couple comments up there, like Charlie said, "Morning, y'all." Tammy said, "Good morning, Woody family." Lynn said, "Morning, everyone." So I have 3 comments. If there are any more than that, I can't see them. Mm-hmm. So that's the way that it goes. But glad you could join us. Yes.
So real quick.
Yes.
Did Fish not set up your Surface?
Did what?
Did Fish not set up your Surface on your Facebook?
No.
On your pad?
It's just no. You know what? There's 3. I got 3 comments. I don't know if there are any more comments than that. I have no idea. Yeah, it's a Friday though. I mean, that's good, right? Yeah. What did you say? You're going out of town this weekend? Are you allowed to say why?
Yeah, I'm going. So it's my guy who beat cancer. It's Wynn's birthday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had him on the show. Great dude. Wayne State guy.
So today's the 17th. Today's the 16th. Tomorrow's his birthday, and so he's having like a whole
happy
weekend.
Birthday.
So we're all going out there for the weekend. I'll be back early Monday morning.
Out to L.A.
Out to L.A. The whole crew.
I'm not allowed to say bad things, bad opinions about cities. L.A. stinks. It smells. I'm not allowed to say that though. Somebody will cry and I can't believe you said. I don't like L.A. at all. My son's moving out there in a month and a half, and I said I'm coming to visit you twice, and that's it. That's it.
What other cities you don't like? You're not going to Mexico.
Do you want me
anymore?
to make a list?
You're not going to Mexico anymore.
Tijuana.
Just that grumpy old guy.
Ensenada, New Orleans. We talked about that. L.A., New York City. I think that's it.
Not Mexico?
No, I said Ensenada and Tijuana. Never want to go back. Never want to go back.
So not Mexico as a whole, just those 2?
No, just those 2 cities. I haven't been to Mexico as a whole. I've been to those 2 cities, and they were dirty. I didn't like them. In New York, I don't like New York. There's too much going on.
Is it dirty?
I can't say it was dirty. There was a smell to New York, almost like L.A., that And like walking around and all you see is buildings in the sky, it bothered me. Like it's just like, no.
You don't like the skyscrapers?
No. I like the beautiful sky and I like seeing birdies.
You don't like downtown Detroit?
There aren't areas in downtown Detroit though where you can walk and all you see is skyscrapers. You know what I mean? There are some areas in New York where you walk. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love that stuff.
People don't understand how beautiful Detroit is.
It is beautiful.
I was talking about this actually this morning. I was saying that Detroit is like becoming like I've always loved Detroit, but say I wasn't from here. Like if I was a college kid moved here, say from Kentucky or Alabama. And I moved to Detroit to go to Wayne State, and I was in Midtown, downtown, and I can go and enjoy all the festivities that they have going on downtown now, everything they have going on. I mean, from all the different bars, all the different restaurants, the skate park in the middle of downtown, to where we had the drive-in downtown, to the ice skating rink down. So all these different things, Detroit will grow on me to be one of my favorite cities in the U.S. It is. I mean, you get all 4 seasons. Some people don't like that. I love having all 4 seasons. I love having all 4 seasons.
Love it.
You get the snow, you get the fall with the different colors and with the leaves and the weather change, and you get it's beautiful.
Now, I've said this before. One day I'll have a house down in Florida. I know it. I've accepted it and everything. But I'm going to do it in a way, Joique, where I'm going to still experience the winter, but instead of the winter being this big, the winter's going to be this big for me. Does that make sense?
All right.
Like I'm one of those guys, I'll probably take off the day after Christmas and then come back like the first week of April or something.
Yeah.
Because that way I'll get the spring, the summer, the fall. There's no way I could miss the fall here. There's no place better to be, but I'm only going to get that much winter.
And I'm going to tell you this. Another thing that I didn't mention, and people don't talk about this. I don't understand why people don't talk about this, on how Detroit is the only city in the whole country that has 4 professional teams in all downtown. Mm-hmm. It's not talked about enough.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're the only city with all 4 professional teams, all downtown, and within walking distance.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It takes 15 minutes. It takes no longer than 8 to 10 minutes to walk to each stadium.
Maybe.
Not even.
Yeah, 5. Gosh, yeah, absolutely.
But we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it. Tell me another city in the country that has more than 4 teams or more than 3 teams all in downtown.
No, I mean, you know what? I always say that, like, New York's a nice place to visit. I'm done in a day. I feel the same way about Vegas. Like, get me out of there after 2 days max and all that.
It's 3.
I can't stand it. So yeah, like there are certain cities, like if you go to and you have a bad experience, I've talked about them. 2 cities in Mexico, didn't like them. New Orleans, I'll never go to New Orleans again. You got mad.
I didn't get mad. I didn't get mad. I didn't get mad. It's just you went to the wrong spot. You went to Bourbon Street.
It was dirty. I didn't like it.
People in New Orleans don't even go to Bourbon Street.
Oh,
that's
really?
for tourists. That's for tourists. You got to go to other parts.
The tourist traps, like Orlando.
Yeah, like some people in New Orleans go there every so often, but a lot of people don't go there. And it's weird, like when people are from like some place, they don't go to like the tourist spots. So I remember when I went to Africa with Ziggy, we went to Cape Coast Castle, which is a couple hours from where he grew up, and it's basically where they used to hold the slaves. And we went down there, we did that whole tour. But he has never been there, and he's from it. That was his first time ever going.
Kidding.
That was his first time ever going. Was when I went there, and but yeah, it's just like when you have all these different things, where you're from is you kind of take it for granted.
I'm terrified of my kid moving to LA. I'm not gonna lie.
Why?
He's my little boy.
Let him spread his wings.
Of course, yes, I'm letting him, but that doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean I'm not terrified. I'm terrified.
You can walk around.
He's got some good people that are looking out after him, though, which is nice. But I mean, it's LA. Mm-hmm. It eats people up and spits them out and all that stuff. He doesn't like me to say it. He's still my little boy. You know
what it is though? It's going to be the crowd that he hangs around. It's weird because the first time I ever went to California, it was in LA. I was in the Bay. and everyone in the Bay was to talk about how they didn't like LA because it was like a whole nother state. It was Hollywood. It was shady people, all that. And so I just got this false narrative. Well, I got this made-up narrative based off other people's opinion. And so I went there to start training after that, probably like a year or two later. And I didn't want to. I went there with the mindset I'm not gonna really like it, but they had a really good training, training program with a trainer out there that a lot of guys were going to. So I went out there. I started training. 11-11 right now, good energy, and I loved it so much. I love the energy. I love the people that I was hanging around so much that I trained there from 2012 all the way to 2018. Every year, every off season.
I'm somebody, I don't let somebody else's opinion like come into my opinion, because there have been places that I've been to that people, dog and everything, and it's like, I can't. You know what? A lot of people told me they didn't like Boston. I thought Boston was great. I enjoyed Boston.
Look at Kennedy. I like Boston.
I enjoyed Boston. Like I heard, people were kind of dissonant. I love Chicago. Chicago's great. Chicago's
funny?
Great.
I'm gonna tell you this. When I moved to, because that's a rival.
I hate the Bears. Have I ever told you guys that I hate the Bears?
When I went to Chicago, I'm from Detroit. Detroit is always like the little brother to Chicago. So when I went to Chicago, I didn't want to like it, but I loved it.
I loved it. Great city.
I loved it.
Boy, they have some good eats there. Oh,
right,
shit, crap.
I was right on Michigan and Randolph, right there. Only thing I didn't like about Chicago was a 2-hour drive home from work every single day. It was an hour and 51 minutes every single day.
It takes life out of you.
It only took 30 minutes to get to work in the morning.
Harrison, downtown Detroit is beautiful, but the traffic there stresses me out.
The traffic is not terrible in Detroit. If you think that's terrible, go to Chicago, go to Atlanta, go to L.A., if that stresses you out.
I love downtown Detroit because it still feels old, and the architecture. Oh my gosh!
And that's the thing I love about. So this is the thing I love about the investors that are coming to Detroit. I'll say Dan Gilbert. So if you go down into the old historic, I'm gonna call it, but where they have the old mansions. Yes, Sean, quit capping.
I hate the Bears.
Quit crap, man. What is? Can you read that for us, Alex?
Sean, quit capping. You love the Bears. Gosh, I hate the Bears.
Oh, okay.
I hate the Bears.
Sean using that new slang. I love it.
Quit
capping, Sean.
Quit capping, Sean.
Gosh, I hate the Bears.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. When they came into downtown Detroit, they didn't want to take away our architect. They wanted to keep that same old style, traditional architect in downtown, and I loved it. And so even though they're building new places down there, they're keeping a lot of the old architectural work up, and so I enjoy going down there looking at the hand. 'Cause a lot of the stuff downtown is like they carved that by hand.
You know what's really cool is I like where I park to go to Tiger games. The whole time I go like this.
Where do you park?
Like literally, gosh, I forget the name of the streets. I'm not good with the names of the streets.
Bobby?
On the other side of, how there's the park, like where Brass Rail is? Like I walked down the street where like the Ford automobile was actually created. And I don't know the name of the street. It's just off of Michigan. It's a great spot. Easy out, easy in. And we've parked there. I mean, when we had season tickets and even when, like I'm going to 2 games next week actually. And it's a great spot. And I just go like this the whole time. And one of the jobs that I have is at the Fisher Building. And when you walk around inside the Fisher Building, I swear to God, I've walked in there 5 billion times in my life. You always see something different. Mm-hmm. Like there's always some little detail of architecture inside that it's fascinating to me. It really is. It's like, wow, that's cool, and that's I love stuff like that. There's history. We need to take a quick break, and maybe Kennedy, you can figure out how to get these live time comments up, because I feel badly. I'm already off enough as it is without Fish here and without Art here. Mm-hmm. And so at least maybe I can read some of the comments today. Yeah. We have a special guest coming up next. Pretty cool story. We'll tell you about it when we come back. This is Woodward Sports.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Hey guys, I'm D-Mac.
Hey guys, I'm Pilar.
That was a little slow.
All right.
Hi, I'm D-Mac.
I wasn't ready. I was doing this.
Hi, I'm D-Mac.
Hey, I'm Pilar.
I'm Maz.
You're lit. Hi, I'm D-Mac.
I'm Pilar.
I'm Maz. We suck.
You suck.
Catch us Monday to Friday, 3 to 5.
Every day, right here on The Hook.
On Woodward Sports Network.
All right, welcome back in. So glad you could join us. It is a Friday. Yay. Did I say that right? Friday. Yay. Somebody said, Sean, go to L.A. because your son is there. I am. I'm going twice. I'm helping move him in. It's his birthday, actually. He's moving in. And then I'm actually going to see the Lions and Rams there in October. So I'm going to visit him twice, and then that's it. Because I don't like L.A. at all. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Tammy said, the problem is YouTube has almost a 30-second delay today. Lawrence said, I met Joique Bell twice, once at the hospital and once at Whole Foods.
Look at that. Hey, what's up?
Joique's a nice guy.
All right.
Unless your name's Art.
Unless your name is Art.
All right. Do we have the guest on right now? We are very proud to be joined. It is an honor and a privilege. It's not every day you get to talk to an athlete of this magnitude. Paralympian Dani Aravich kindly joins us here on Baligian and Bell. Dani, hi. I love
Dani?
that too. Gosh,
Hey.
we needed that ray of sunshine
Did
today.
we?
It's pouring rain again. I see this big smile and this wave. Like,
Dani, where are you right now?
Yes.
Dani, where are you right now?
I'm in Bozeman, Montana.
Is it raining there? Is it sunny outside?
It is very smoky from some of the wildfires. Unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. But no rain. Just a lot of smoke.
It has not stopped raining here for I believe it's 40 days and 40 nights now,
Yeah.
and so we needed that smile and the
Yeah, we needed
wave
it.
today. Yes,
We definitely did.
All right, tell everybody what you're doing in Bozeman, Montana, first and foremost.
I live in Bozeman because this is where my Paralympic sport is. So I have to be here every winter from now on for training, and so I was living in Salt Lake City. I did here full time.
Okay.
Great stuff. For people out there that don't know, I'm going to reiterate it. Dani is a Paralympian. You've been in the summer and the winter games, correct?
I am going to my first summer and on track.
That's awesome. So how are you going to be so how are you going to be participating? Which events are you going to be doing, or are you aiming to be a part of?
I am going to be competing in Tokyo next month in the 400 meters in track and field, and then hopefully 6 months later I'll be going to Beijing for the Winter Games for skiing and biathlon.
Now, you know,
Awesome.
It's awesome, right? So, a lot of people call the 400 meter. They call that a man's race, but in your case, a women's race, because that's usually one of the toughest races. So when I ran track, I used to dread running the 400. But honestly, what made you choose that event, and just kind of, because that's not for everyone. So what made you choose it?
I would agree. I would argue it is the toughest event. I'd rather run a marathon than run a 400. So I ran at Butler University, and I was a distance runner. I started for Paralympic track. There are categories based on disability, and from my category, we were only able to compete in the 100, 200, and 400. So you could say I was kind of forced into it, actually. And I've still probably only run it about 10 times in my life, and I would argue it's the toughest event.
For sure.
How did you get involved? What? Tell us about the impetus about getting involved. And I still, call me old-fashioned. I can't think of a better thing than representing your country. What an incredible honor. But kind of walk us through how this all started for you.
Yes, so I competed at Butler University, always did able-bodied sports. I was born without my forearm and didn't know anything about the Paralympics. And it was actually, I was working in professional sports for an NCAA team after college, and someone approached me that you should look into this. There'd be a lot of opportunity if you want to start competing again. And I didn't know I was eligible. This was my next break, but I genuinely thought that the Paralympics was for people only using wheelchairs. Like, I just had no idea the scope and the opportunities involved in it. So yeah, it was all because someone brought it into it, and I wasn't finding purpose with my job at the time, and it allowed me to start training again. So it's been great, but yeah, I just hope that more people will learn about it sooner so they can get involved in an earlier age than me getting involved at 24, 25 years old.
All right, so you know what? I love to hear like these type of stories, right? I love to hear.
It's great.
So I have a question for you. So
Yes.
aside from the training, what's some of the biggest challenges you have to face with playing this? What trying to do both going into this Winter Olympics, your first one, hopefully, and then also trying to get, I guess I want to know the process. Is it a similar process of you have to go through the prelims and you have to do different events or different track meets in order to get, I guess, approved to go to the next round? Like, how does that work with the Paralympics?
Yes. So with the delay of the summer for the Paralympics, we actually were able to use our qualification times for trials from 2019. And so from there, we qualified for trials, and we were able to compete in trials last month. And from that process, based on trials, then they were able to name the team from there. And for the Winter Games, I'm on the national team at the moment, but I still technically have to qualify. So I will be qualifying in December of this year.
Okay.
Awesome. Dani Aravich kindly joining us, and I'm not the only one that noticed. A lot of people have said so in our chat. Your smile just lights up the room.
Doesn't it?
And I hope you take that as the compliment it is. You have just a wonderful disposition. I was in a pissed off mood about 5 minutes ago, and I started talking about with you. I'm ready. Let's go. What do you know? No, seriously, talk about you just have this like.
She got it.
This aura, she's got it. That's the best way to say it.
You don't know what it is, but you got it.
Where did it come from? You are just you really are like, I love your personality. Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's so kind.
Have you always been like that? Is it something you were born with, or your parents loved you and hugged you? I think that's what I was missing. I didn't have a mommy and daddy that loved me and hugged me. So maybe that's the secret.
Do you know what I always say? Because a lot of my friends who are in the disabled community and are particularly amputees, I say because we were missing a limb, we had to make up for it with more personality.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's just absolutely awesome. Once again, Dani Aravich kindly joining us. So tell us about the schedule. What do the next few weeks hold for you? I know that you're going to be taking off, but how hectic are things in the next couple of weeks?
It's been challenging since I found out I was going because, again, with skiing right around the corner, I'm trying to not get too far behind in that. So I'm kind of molding two training plans right now at the same time and trying to mesh everything together and make sure I'm doing the right stuff for track and the right stuff for skiing. I'll take off for Japan on August 10th or 11th, and then we'll actually go to an Air Force base in Japan, do a training camp there, and then I'll compete August 27th for that. Come back right afterwards and get rolling on skiing even more.
Wow.
Look at that work. Put in that work. Now, when you go, now I'm going to tell you, the athletes, and see, what people don't realize with athletes is they only see us when we're performing, right? When we're performing. They don't see the other 10, 11 months of training we're doing, right? Of getting prepared for that 45 to 55 seconds of running at 400. They don't see that, right? And that's the hardest part. What keeps you motivated throughout the year, especially coming out of COVID year where you guys couldn't compete?
I think that, as you mentioned before, competing for my country is what keeps me motivated. I've gotten to compete internationally for skiing a few times, and wearing a jersey, a bib that says USA, and knowing that you're doing this for everyone back home, and knowing that you get to proudly represent your country and make your country proud, I would say that's what definitely keeps me motivated. And it's the greatest honor someone could ever have, is being able to represent the United States of America.
I love it. I love it.
You're unbelievable. Like you're one of those. You're too good to be true. Like, are you real? Like, I know. Listen to like your smile, your attitude about life, saying something like that. Because I mentioned it earlier. I feel this. I can't imagine a greater honor than having USA across your chest.
No.
I mean, and I say that I'm sitting next to a former professional athlete, and I mean no disrespect to him, but like honestly, I can't. Isn't that the ultimate? Isn't that like that it? I don't know. You're going to be like me pretty soon. Well, life gets all downhill from here. You know, I mean, like honestly, how do you even match that?
You know what though? We need to have Art here so he can meet her, because he definitely needs some of your energy. He needs a lot of your energy. He has bad vibrators.
Oh boy! So you were at Butler. You were at Butler with our own Kennedy. Did you know Kennedy real well?
Yes, we were sorority sisters. I was a few years older than her, but we were in the same sorority, so that's how we met initially.
Is there any story, if you want to throw one under the bus, this is your opportunity to do so?
Give her one. Give us
She's
one story.
too sweet. She
give us
won't
one story,
do it, but I had to ask.
And Daddy, give us one story. Give us one.
Oh, man. I mean, I was a senior when she was a freshman, so I feel like I can't throw her under the bus too much because she was just a little freshman.
So, does she have to do anything when pledging, or does she just like, if you guys are a sorority sister?
No, we were kind to them. We were kind to them. We
y'all didn't. So you guys didn't do the old break you down to build you up, so to speak?
No.
Okay.
No, we just showered them with gifts and love.
That doesn't surprise me, considering that you were a part of that.
Yeah.
No, seriously, being mean to you is not smiling. You know, I mean, it's you've smiled the entire time. Yeah. I'm a big fan. Like, I love your personality. I think it's great.
It is great.
You are an inspiration to everybody, not Paralympians, to everybody. If more people could live their life like you, I think the world would be a better place, and I mean that in all sincerity.
I have one more question for you. I have one more question for you. So, qualifying. So, do you have to qualify is it by time, or is it by winning your heat? How does that work?
Ooh. Interesting question.
Yeah.
A much different process than the Olympics. Because,
exactly.
For Olympic trials, for example, there's so many people competing that, it's top 3 hitting also the Olympic standard go. Whereas for us, since there's so many different categories, so many different classifications, we have standards set that are based off of the 3rd best time in the world from the past 4 years, so basically being podium worthy. And you run your event at trials, and they take a percentage of how you compare to your individual A standard. For example, I'm a T47 in my category, so if you look at the T47 women's 400 meter from the past 4 years, that's how they get the standard. They compare my time to that. And so they kind of filter down. So I get ranked against someone who is racing in a wheelchair and someone who's a leg amputee throwing javelin. So we all get kind of compared together, and they filter down the list based on how close you are to that. So it's really confusing. So I didn't know that I made the team until 6 days after trials, because they were still waiting for slots, and they had to do the math of figuring out how everyone ranks. So I just had to sit and wait and be patient.
Right. So what was your time? So when you ran, what was your time when you ran?
I ran a 62.5.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my strongest. I wasn't totally certain I was going to make the team with that. But honestly, I think especially with the COVID year, a lot of people didn't have most stellar performance, so now it's just grinding out the rest of the summer to make sure we are peaking in Tokyo.
For sure.
Awesome.
And key word she said there, peaking.
Yep.
Because that's key word. And so honestly, you're in a great spot right now. Like, you're in a great spot. So they're gonna tear it down right now. They're gonna break you down out there in you said Montana?
Yes, I just went to
right.
the Olympic training site in San Diego last week for a camp, and I might go back at the end of this month, and then we'll have a few weeks in Japan prepared there as well.
Okay.
San Diego, Bozeman, 6 of one, half of
Make
the
sure,
other, right?
Make sure you're hydrating on that plane.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Make sure you hydrate.
Over there.
Danny, we are all going to be following you and keeping up to date with what
Definitely
you're
will.
doing. I'm going to say it again. You are an inspiration to everybody. Go get that gold medal for your country and for you. But as far as I'm concerned, you're a gold medalist as a human being. I mean that in all sincerity. You are just an inspiration, and I hope you realize that. We wish you nothing but the best, honestly.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
and if you didn't know, I'm Joique, and that's creepy old man Sean. So
Nice to meet you guys.
I'm just being nice. That's all, I swear.
creepy old
No,
man.
really. Awesome. Danny, best of luck. Go USA.
Thank
Thanks.
you guys. Have a good
Thanks.
day.
All right.
Thanks for coming on.
Danny Aravich
Oh,
kindly
that's so nice.
joining
Beautiful
us.
smile.
Yeah, can a guy
Great
just be nice? Why
charisma.
Why do things have to be creepy though? You know, I mean, that's where we're at. I get what you're saying, but like her personality, her smile, she's just she's awesome.
It's just sometimes you just hot or cold. I can't tell. Speaking of hot and cold, have I told you about Northwestern Tech? Start a new career in an industry that is always essential. The heating and cooling industry. To learn more today, go to northwesterntech.edu. Be back to you after these messages. Woodward Sports.
Ever since Corey's been wearing this LeBron James jersey around the network, it's been falling down a lot.
And you know, really, that's it. Dan Campbell is going to be the man for the Lions. Don't you agree, Corey? I didn't even touch you.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Kennedy, do you want me to say something?
I mean, I don't know what people have told you. I don't want anyone to get in trouble. You know me.
Nobody's going to get in trouble. I'll get it out of the way right now.
No.
No, I'm going to get it out of the way. No, I don't want anybody to deal with it. That's why.
We're not going to deal with it.
No,
Sean,
it's
you're
not
too
fair
nice.
to her or any other commentator. It's not fair.
Okay.
I'm leaving Woodward Sports. Nothing personal against anybody. I got a great offer from my other job, and so Tuesday will be my last day. Okay. So do me a favor. Now that I said it, please stop commenting, because it's not fair to the people that I work with. It's not fair to people like Kennedy that have to roll through the comments and everything.
It's not fair to me.
It's not fair to Joique. This is a wonderful thing for me. It's a wonderful thing for my family. I want to say 1,000%. I believe in what Woodward Sports is doing. I believe in Chad. I believe in Tim. I believe in the guys that I work with. I believe in Stick. I believe in Adam. I believe in Joey. I cannot stress this enough. There's nothing. You guys know me. I'm not exactly a PC person, okay? Right? Have you learned that about me yet? I mean, people that have known me for a long time know that. But the people that I work with or just got to know me, I think they kind of. I'm not being PC here. There's nothing personal. There's no negative feelings. There's no bad feelings. This happens in my business, and that's that. So please, you don't owe me anything, but please don't besiege other people with that, okay? We weren't going to talk about it until Tuesday, but I feel guilty because it's unfortunate that other people that I work with...
They said, where are you going next?
I can't say. That's not... I think it's disrespectful to the network. I do. I think it's disrespectful to the network to talk about another job.
Yeah.
I just do.
Okay.
if you guys know where I work, then you know where I work. But no, really, I don't want to be disrespectful to one person here. I loved it here. I really, truly did.
We love having you.
Sometimes what happens is you can't. I just can't. I can't. They wanted me to be exclusive to them, and so I'm going to be exclusive to them. So there's nothing. As God is my witness, listen to me. There's nothing negative about anybody here. This is not the old man had a temper tantrum and took his ball home or anything. I can't stress this enough. And I don't like my coworkers to have to deal with things that pertain to me. All right? Because it's not about me. It's been about us, and that's the cool thing about Woodward Sports. So, all right, I said it. Now you can drop it. Now you can. Some of you can celebrate. The YouTubers are going to go have a big party because the evil guy is gone.
No.
But there. Done. We're done,
Sean,
right? We're
Sean.
done.
Right.
It's over.
Right. Who the hell is the sports guy on WSN now?
Yeah, truly, Sean. But you know what I do have to deal with now that just rolled through.
I'm gonna tell you what I miss. This is what I'm gonna miss.
What?
Sean, who won the Super Bowl in 1996?
Dallas Cowboys in January of 1996 knocked off the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-17.
I got a hard one for you because you don't do too well with these. 2015.
2015. See, you always get you
I
go
get you
to
with
the
the-
earlier
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
You go to the recent
Yeah.
years. They're all jumbled together.
Yeah.
The 14 season. Boy, right off the top of my head, was that the
Alex,
Patriots
be ready.
Falcons one?
Look it up.
Yeah, I don't remember
You
that
said
one.
who? You said who?
Was that the Patriots Falcons one? I don't remember. So yeah, but can we drop it? Let's just drop it. We have a show to do, and these guys are gonna do well, and that's that. That's why I don't say anything. Okay, that's why, and it's not about me. This is a great place to work. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
All right, good. We're done.
Yeah,
Good.
we're done.
Cool. Great.
Done.
Yeah, good.
But one thing you were here, you're a great coach. You're a great coach.
Thank you.
We learned a lot from you.
So anyway, coaching. Speaking of coaches,
Speaking of coaches, that was you took my segue. You took it from me. Oh, this guy is a thief.
So how much of a difference does a coach make? Really, Joique? You can speak to this better than any of us can. So I am going to defer to you, and I'm just going to shut my mouth. And how much of a difference does the coach make?
It makes a huge difference with how they interact with the coach because let's talk about Jamal Williams. He talks about how the Lions coaching staff came in, how they can communicate with the players. Also, who was it? Michael Bruckers also felt that he took a couple shots at Matt Patricia, saying that he didn't know how to communicate with the players, or they weren't receptive to the way that he spoke to them. And so I think it's very crucial to have a coach that you can go to, you feel comfortable with asking questions, but at the same time, that coach is demanding perfection from you at his highest form. I mean, we're playing in the game to where one mistake can alter the momentum of a game, which can ultimately cause your team to lose. Football is truly a game of inches, and you have coaches who can stress you your job, what you're supposed to do, how they want the job done, the way that they speak it to you will decipher the way you receive it, and the way that some coaches can talk to players can can be very detrimental to the relationship you guys have, because at the end of the day, it is a do your job league, but at the same time, when you have a coach that you want to play for, you'll go that extra mile. When you have a job that you have, and the manager or the owner of that company makes you feel special, can communicate, and you guys have a mutual respect for one another, it'll make you want to go that extra mile to make sure not only that you're successful, but the whole team and the whole business as a whole is successful as well.
I was right about New England, by the way. It was New England over Seattle, 2014.
Yeah.
So how much, let me ask you this, here, because this is, I know people don't want to hear it, all right? The Lions have a talent issue right now. They have a talent issue. They need to. Brad Holmes knows this, and that's why again he went out and he got extra draft picks. Okay, because they're going to build the talent up. They're going to improve the receiving core. They're going to improve the linebacking core. They're going to improve the safeties. Okay, great. How much can a coaching staff like this? Because this on paper, this looks like a great coaching staff, and I don't throw that word around often. But on paper, it looks like a great coaching staff. How much of a difference can it make with a team that is lacking in talent? Could you put a win total to it?
No.
You know, is it +1 or something like that? Anything like that? Because I'm a firm believer in talent wins.
Yeah, no, it's a player's game.
Yep.
It's a player's game.
Agreed.
It's you can put players in certain positions, but sometimes their lack of skill or their lack of ability can alter their ability to be able to fulfill their assignment. And so if I have, a 3 technique, or I have a nose guard who I want to clog a hole, if he doesn't have the ability to do it, he doesn't have the ability. You can tell him to do it, but his lack of skill or his lack of ability will, I guess, kind of halt him being able to fulfill his assignment. So this is a player's game. Coaches would tell you that.
Gosh.
Coaches would tell you that. Coaches would tell you they're not out there making plays.
Listen to him.
Coaches are not out there making plays. They can only
Don't listen to me
position.
anymore. Listen to him. I'm
not the WSU sports guy.
Here we go. No, listen, and I get it. Would I rather have this staff than Matt Patricia? Yes. I would rather be the coach than Matt Patricia. But you're only, look, you're not making chicken salad out of what they have here. You're not going to make a 5-star meal out of what they have here.
So they want what they say, they want steak and lobster with a tuna budget.
It's not going to happen. And I get it, because I see people say this all the time, and I get it. Okay, this is what I get. People say, well, just because of coaching and culture, we're going to be better. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
But this is a both things can be true thing. You're going to be better, but better might not manifest itself via record, because there's less talent here now too. Mm-hmm. There is, and in some very important positions. So.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you a question, because we have to get, because this kind of ties into what we're talking about.
All right.
We talked about this yesterday. What was our biggest downfall going into 2021?
The defense was horrific. I mean, it was historically bad. It really was. It was historically bad.
And what about the receiving core?
The receiving core is a lot better than the receiving core we have now. A lot better.
Right. So is that a down? Now, what do you think we can do to help revitalize or kind of bring some type of success to that position?
I think you number one, I want to see more of Quintus Cephas. I like the guy. I liked him before the Lions drafted him.
I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Who do you think we can bring in that can help?
Oh, would he walk through that door again at this point in time in his career?
With this new regime?
Do you think he would?
Do I think he would? Depends. For him, I would say no.
Yeah, me too.
For him, I would say no.
I loved the guy. If you don't know who we're talking about,
Golden Tate.
Isn't that funny? We had that psychic thing going on. I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I love the guy. Just great human being too.
Great. So at this point in his career, if you look at the teams that he's most interested in, it's the Colts, it's the Rams, and it's the Titans, and now the Pats, right? But if you look at those 3 teams, those are 3 contenders. And right now, it's not about the money. It's about, I want to win now. I want to win. I want another Super Bowl ring. I haven't seen one in 10 years. I need another one. Almost 10 years. So will he come back to Detroit in a rebuild? Probably not that. Probably they have to pay him well. Quite well.
Oh, I'd love it.
But he knows, he's getting on the back end of his career.
I'd love it.
But now, 2 years though, if he's still playing in 2 years, which he probably could be because he's a Yak King. He's a Yak King, and he's a playmaker. I wouldn't be against him coming back here for 1 year, doing a 1 year deal.
Oh, hell no.
I don't say 2 years. He's still playing at a high level. He still wants to get down. He still wants to play. I would definitely say come back here in 2 to 3 years and be a part of this. Be a part of this change, for sure.
So I like the way that the analogy that people are apt to use, and this is the analogy that I've been using, is like legitimately building, right? So they got the coaching staff and they upgraded the line, but they have to wait for that cement to dry, right? And Penei Sewell is still a work in progress. And then you can go work on other things in the house. But it's, you know what? You have one of the best construction companies that you could ask for at this point in time. And it isn't, you know, I'm not talking about like the coaching staff. It's not like Dan Campbell has oodles and oodles and oodles of experience, but he's got hunger. He's got the wherewithal to understand that he's not the guy that has all the answers. Because part of this that I like about what the Lions are doing, Joique, boy, it sure seems to me like Dan Campbell is checking his ego. When he goes and hires some of the guys that he did.
He definitely did.
With the credit line that they have, this is a guy that's basically saying, yeah, I may be the head coach, but I want to bring in this guy because I know he knows this. I want to bring in that guy because he knows this. You know? And the same thing can be said for Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes is bringing in guys that have done it.
And the thing that makes this a smart move is you're bringing in guys that have done things you haven't done yet, right? Guys who know things you might not know. And when he did the press conference, and when he came here, I remember him saying that there's no ego. I have no ego. I'll take advice from anybody on my staff. We'll sit down, we'll talk about it, right? And I'm paraphrasing, but when a guy can come in and say that lets you know he's for the team. He's for the team. He's for the organization. He's for the fans. He really wants to bring success back. And that pride back to Detroit. And we have some of the best fans, and they deserve it. They truly deserve it.
Well, and it is an interesting question because I've heard a lot of people say it, you know, well, automatically the Lions are going to be better because of coaching. Well, I think there's only so much coaching can do, you know? You know what show I watch a lot? Do you guys watch the Food Network at all? I don't know if you guys like this. I like or know this. I like food. I like food a lot, and I like to cook. I like to cook for others more than anything.
Yeah, Kendi said you was really healthy.
But there is a really cool show on there, you know, where basically they give you a bunch of ingredients that should not make like a 5-star meal, right? And they tell you, okay, guess what? You got to make something out of these crap ingredients that is just going to blow people away. And so these professional chefs can only do so much in regards to putting together a great meal because of the crap product that they're told to use. Do you get what I'm saying? These guys are not going to be able to make a 5-star meal a Super Bowl champion because, quite frankly, the ingredients that they got, they aren't top shelf. They were only allowed this much to spend when if you want to make that 5-star meal, you have to spend this much. And I think that's what's so intriguing about that show because sometimes somebody really makes a good meal out of it, but it's not the great meal. You know, it's not that 5-star, wow, bon appetit. You know, I'm going to be talking about this meal for the rest of my days. And why is that? Because the ingredients that they have are not top of the line ingredients. And that's where the Lions are at right now. They've got some good ingredients. You know, they've got some. I can make a good steak. I can make a good steak.
Couple sprinkles
with a less than piece of meat, but I want a great steak. You know, I want to get that Wagyu. I want to get that A5, man. I want you to take a bite of that and go, holy crap. That is the epitome of melt in your mouth. You know? We don't have those ingredients here right now. There's some really good ingredients that one day we hope to become great ingredients. Did you like that? That just came right off the top of my head. I was actually kind of proud of it.
It was. So I wanted to get back to some of the quotes that that Michael was talking about. No, because honestly, you sit back and you go to these team meetings, you go to your position meetings, you go to the office meeting, you go to the special team meetings, and then you have your individual meetings. You're meeting with these coaches all day, every day. And so it's good to kind of have that rapport with them that you can go back and forth. You can take what they say and buy into it. Now, the thing that Dan Campbell has done with this team, with this new regime, is that he's been able to come in, he's been able to communicate, gain the respect of these players, right? And the hardest thing to do is to have a group of men in this room and have them all buy into your scheme, your plans. And once you have that, then the sky's the limit, right? The sky's the limit. Now, the sky's the limit when you have all the right ingredients, right? All the right ingredients. But we have already, we're setting the foundation, right? We're setting the foundation. We're putting in the cement, right? This is that new cement that is really sturdy. And so it takes like 2 years to dry before we can start building on top of it. But we're there. We're right there. And so I think that's crucial to the success, the future success of this team. And when we come back, I want to get into our crypto winner. But before we go, you want to take a drink? Want to take a shot?
I do want to take a shot. I want to talk about something Michael Brocker said too when we come back, before we get to the crypto, because there is I think we can talk about it. I think we're at that point where we can talk about it, and I guarantee you, I promise you, you will hear this more times than you can shake a stick at in the next 3 weeks. I'm calling my shot right now. Stay tuned. I'll tell you what you're going to be hearing in the next 3 weeks. More times than you can imagine, because Camp Happy Times is about to start, and this is really Camp Happy Times. Oh, this is more Camp Happy Times than has ever been Camp Happy Times. I'll tell you why when we come back. 8 Mile Vodka, born in Detroit, is distilled in single 90-liter batches to allow for optimal quality control and care. Then carbon filtered, aerated, and bottled at the perfect time to produce a subtle taste with a smooth finish and a character all its own. It's an exceptional premium vodka that can be chilled and enjoyed straight or mixed to create an exceptional cocktail. Now, the next time you're out, ask your bartender for an 8 Mile Vodka or pick up a bottle at Meijer. And as always, drink responsibly. We'll come back, give you your chance to get registered for the crypto. Today is a race. Well, most every day behind the scenes here at Woodward Sports, you guys don't know there's a race between Joique and I. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to beat Joique in a race today. And you know what that race is? To see who can run to the bathroom and take a piss first. I'm going to win that race, Woodward Sports.
We are here, downtown Fenton, my favorite Bridge Street Exchange.
That's right, and you want to switch up your wardrobe this summer? It's this easy. You ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I like it. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Ooh, Brixton, nice. One more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I like the hat on this one, too. You ready to do it one more time, Joey?
I'm getting tired. One last one.
All right, let's change it. Bro, where's your shirt? You need new clothes this summer. Bridge Street Exchange in Fenton. That's where you need to go. Thank you, guys.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Look at that. He did beat me today.
He did.
And I usually always beat him. Darn it, I always beat him.
Here he is.
But here he is. He's right back. I mean, it was so quick.
Hi.
And when he did one commercial.
Can I bring this up? No, I need to bring this up before I forget with Adam in here. Because Adam and I have this kinship, right? We get angry at free passes and everything. All right? So I don't know if you guys saw this morning. That kind of went... I'll get back to the Brockers thing in a second. There has not been a greater free pass in this town than the free pass given to Al Avila. and I don't know when people are going to wake up. It is getting to Matt Millen levels right now. It is. I'll make the argument that it's worse than Matt Millen. I'm not being funny right now. Okay, when you look at how long this man has been on the job, and you look at what his high watermark is, there is nothing on his resume that he has done right. Nothing. You think I'm joking? Go look it up. Wake the fuck up. Like, honestly, I have no other way to say this. If you're a Tiger fan, there are people that like defend this guy. Okay? And you know what brings this up? Can I tell you why I bring this up? Because one of his can't miss prospects just missed this morning, and they made the announcement, Willie with an eye Castro, and one of his, Al was so shrewd to go sign Nomar Mazara for that money. It is the failure across the board for this guy in this town is unbelievable, and nobody talks about it. It's Adam, I've never seen anything like it. I'm being deadly serious. He has done nothing right. Okay? Don't tell me he couldn't spend money. Go back and look at 2016. He gave out monster contracts, okay?
Jordan Zimmerman.
Zimmerman. Justin Upton. Mike Pelfrey. Like, absolute failure. This is a guy that has been on the job for 6 years now. And every year there's the new list of, just wait till you see this prospect. This is our shortstop of the future. This is our center fielder of the future. His free agent signings. Tell me a trade that he's made that brought value back to the Tigers. Now think about some of the guys he's traded. He traded Justin Verlander and has nothing to show for it. JD Martinez, nothing to show for it. Nothing.
Castellanos, goodbye.
Castellanos, nothing to show for it. I've never in my lifetime. It's real. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that bothers me. People get mad at me. But what did I do? I'm telling you factually, there's nothing there. His trades have been awful. This terrible prospect Detroit root stuff has been awful. If you can't wake up and see this, I'm not going to help you out anymore. But today, the reason I wanted to bring that up, because just a little while ago, one of his can't miss little prospects missed. Willie with an eye Castro, and another one of his, Al's so smart to sign Nomar Mazara because he's just going to sign him and then flip him for some more prospects. How's that worked out? Adam, I'm serious. I've never seen anything like it. I've never, in this town, and that's saying a lot, because we have given the free pass to a lot of guys in this town. The Al Avila free pass, I've never seen anything like it.
It's baseball. That's why.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Al Avila was the Lions GM for 6 years, there would have been a riot going downtown.
Uproar.
And that's just the truth.
Uproar.
Like,
maybe
it's
that's
baseball. It's baseball.
Maybe that's it.
And that's not a shot at baseball. That's just, unfortunately, Tigers fans were spoiled for a good 6 year span, and they bought into a rebuild that I've yet to see. I've yet to see the plan. It's very easy to get number 1 picks and hit on number 1 overall pick.
Thank you.
Like, that's not an accomplishment.
No.
An accomplishment is trading, let's say, a 7th or 8th guy in the lineup for a few prospects, and one of them actually turns out pretty damn good. Al Avila's done nothing. So, yeah, I don't know why people are mad at you, Sean.
There's nothing there. There's nothing.
But
and these
he
narratives,
will get a contract extension this summer.
You know what the crazy thing is, though? You bring this up. Like, Adam, I'm sure you remember this. You're old enough to remember this. And, Joique, this is pre... you being with the Lions, obviously. You were still at Wayne State. The defenders of Matt Millen were there until 2008. There were people defending him, if you remember, when they went 7-9. There were people that had the audacity to say, well, they're trending in the right direction. A guy's been on the job since 2001, and his high water mark is 7-9. And you're looking at me with a straight look on your face and saying they're heading in the right direction.
This is the city. This is the fan base, though. This is the same fan base that'll tell you that, you know what, it's okay. You didn't win a division title. You didn't win any playoff games. But hey, it's better than what we're used to. Like, what the fuck? Like, have some standards as a city.
That's the way
I want to see Red Wing standards across the board for all the other sports teams. The Pistons at one time were, I believe, 7 straight conference finals. Like, where is that standard?
We got sick of it. Do you think about that?
Like,
That's real. We got sick of going to the Eastern Conference Finals. We did.
Yeah, look at us now.
Great point. Yeah, I just, and it's funny because Kevin, thank you, Adam. Kevin, one of our super viewers, and a shout out to Kevin. We had this conversation on Twitter last week with this guy that you're dumb. He hasn't spent money. I put all the contracts up there of guys that he signed. It's almost like people forget. If you tell a lie long enough, people will believe it. And there's been a lie out there that Al Avila wasn't allowed to spend money. The Tigers' payroll from the time he took over to the end of his first season, 2016, mysteriously went up over $30 million. But he wasn't allowed to spend. He wasn't. They went from $166 million to $196 million, the fourth highest payroll, I might add. Okay, and the guys that he signed were epic failures. Epic failures. But no, he wasn't allowed to spend. And he's trying to build it the right way. Okay, well, where are all these can't-miss prospects that we've been hearing about for the last 5 years? Remember when Daz Cameron's going to be in the Tiger center field for the next 15 years. Daz Cameron's an afterthought now. Like, not going to... Willie with an I, Castro, all these magic names that we've heard about. And I'll reiterate what he said. I am not going to pat a guy on the back for doing something that I could do. I could go into the draft with the number 1 pick and go, all right, who's a consensus, Joique? Casey Mize. The Detroit Tigers select Casey Mize. Boy, is Al smart. He's so smart. And then, hold on, there's more. The Detroit Tigers have the number 1 pick again. Joique, who's the consensus? Some guy named Spencer Torkelson. The Tigers select Spencer Torkelson. Oh, that Al Avila. Oh, my dog could do that.
Who, Rocket?
Rocket, take your paw and put it on the guy that you want to select. Oh, congratulations, Rocket. You're a GM.
You do have the dog that called out the wins against what was that? The Bucks and the
yes,
the Bucks and the Sun.
Yes, he did. Then the other dog got the Canadians on Lightning wrong though.
Yeah,
remember that? Art had that video.
Yeah.
Dave, I wanted him fired after his first year as a GM. I don't get it. As fans, we all want to win. Trust me, I have the same thing, the same desires that you do. We sat in that park for so many years and came this close, and I look back on that era fondly, okay? But if you can't see what's going on with Al Avila, it's because you don't want to. And I'm just tired of it. I think when the news came out today that another one of his can't-miss prospects missed, and Nomar Mazara, who he was going to flip for even more prospects, is gone, enough already. Sorry. I feel better, though.
You feel better? You got it out?
I do. I feel a lot better.
Sometimes you just got to sit back. You got to listen. Yeah, you got to let people get things off their chest.
I'm sorry.
So I'm just sitting back letting you get things off your chest.
Joique, I've never seen... I'm serious. I've never seen a free pass in this town like the free pass for Al Avila.
You think he'll sign me to a deal?
Oh, he probably will.
I mean, I can.
Oh,
I'm pretty.
Why not?
I heard that you striked out last night, so maybe he would like you.
Yeah, I struck out. I bet it. I had to bet left-handed because I didn't want to hit a home run.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
How did that turn out?
He left that out. They left that out.
How did that turn out?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Joique?
You had to bat left-handed?
I had to bet left-handed.
I told him you were batting left-handed when you struck out.
Didn't I
say that?
But you had to, or you were being a little cocky?
No, I had to because there was no one on base, and I didn't want to make a mistake of hitting a home run because you can only hit 3 home runs a game.
Can't you hit like a line drive right-handed though?
But if you catch it, you try to hit a line drive, you'll take it out.
I can't talk trash. I went 0 of 3 last night, so
yeah. I had 2 base hits and I had 1 strikeout when I batted left. So.
All right, Joique.
No.
Well, then again, wait a second. You sound like Al Avila material to me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He'll like
Al?
you.
There you go. There's your next center fielder of the future.
No, third base. Third base. I got that. I'll get it across the field.
It's frustrating.
It's Kennedy face. Put it on Kennedy face. That's what I'm talking. It's Kennedy face.
I just hear things like sometimes you have issues getting your mitt, on the ground to make contact with the ball. So third base,
it's not that.
I'm just saying.
It's a big ball, and I always get my glove on it. It just goes through my glove. I have a baseball mitt, not a softball. It's tough.
Okay.
It's tough. It is. It's tough.
So, can I ask you something? When you struck out, did you feel shame? Did you go, how did that happen? Because it is, you just said it, it's a big ball. It's a big ball.
Yeah, it was tough, man. It was tough. Yeah, you know what? I didn't sleep well last night. I didn't sleep well. I did not.
Got to get it out of the system before the playoffs start, right?
You know what? And they keep pushing. I'm gonna miss the championship game because Stick League, they don't know how to have games on time, and so they pushed us back. We missed the game last week. We were supposed to have a doubleheader this week. We didn't have that. Do we have a doubleheader next week?
No doubleheader next week. They pushed the game back because of the rain delay. We got rained out last week, so instead of doing a doubleheader this week, they pushed it back, and yeah, now the season's extended a week.
Why did they?
But we're number 1 in our division, baby. Let's go.
Number one.
Hey, we want to give you the opportunity, if you have not been registered yet, to get registered for our 25K for crypto. Kick a football into the back of our truck, and you can win 25K in crypto.
Which crypto? Any crypto they want?
It's in Bitcoin or Doge.
Yeah, but I thought they said they can choose whichever one they want. Yeah. Okay, so you can choose
Doge.
Doge.
Okay.
I used to call it Dodge.
All right. So the first person that types in "I love Alavila."
How about Strikeout?
Damn it! I just said I love Alavila. We'll use Strikeout on Monday.
Okay.
I love Alavila. We'll get you registered. Okay. Fantastic. All right. So Kennedy, let us know. Kennedy's already got her thumbs up. Does that mean somebody said I love Alavila? You know what? We might not get a winner today because anybody with even a tenth of a brain in their head could not find the mental capacity to type the words I love Alavila. It's impossible. But yet people do it. You're just a hater.
We do have one.
Dani,
we do have someone crazy enough to utter those words.
Meanie poo dum dum.
Jojo Rofo, congrats.
Jojo.
Mini poo dum dum.
Meanie poo dum dum.
Mini poo dum dum.
I'm a meanie poo dum dum witchy poo.
Do the face. Do the face though when you do it.
You'll see. Hater. Meanie poo dum dum witchy poo. He couldn't spend money. What about Dan's gambling? Jake Rogers is going to the Hall of Fame. Oh, I didn't want to do this today. Can we get Dani back on? She put me in a happy mood.
Hey, what's her number?
I need Dani Sunshine right now.
What's her number, man? V-Mix. Let's V-Mix her back in. Reach out to her, Kennedy. I said, what's her number? And Kenny looked at me, oh, you want a number? No.
I would love that. I would love that.
Here you go. Stop it.
All right. Fantastic. Dave, you're a smart man.
She's too good
Dave
for
said
me.
I wanted him fired after his first year.
She's too good for me.
The signs were that people, you know what the problem is in this town? Can I tell you what the problem is in this town?
What's the problem?
We just want to believe. We do. We want to believe. Because we see other franchises win championships. If you're a Tigers fan, a diehard Tigers fan, you have, chances are, here, I'm going to look in this room right now. Stick can say yes. Kennedy can say no. Joique says no. They haven't won a championship in your lifetime. Okay? They haven't. You know, it's funny because when I was a kid...
You said Stick can say yes?
Yeah, Stick was born in 1984. Yeah, Stick was alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Old man Stick.
So, like, and I say this all the time, like, Joique, for me, I got sick and tired of hearing about the 68 Tigers when I was a kid. I knew everything about that team. I did. I knew everything about them. I wasn't alive. But that was the last championship. And it's funny because now I'm watching my son. My son's favorite thing is baseball. That's his thing. And he's like, oh, cool, another 1984 reunion. Oh, wow, can we put any more 84 Tigers on the broadcast? And I don't blame him. How could you blame them? But because there are generations out there, Joique, Kennedy, so many people, you've never seen a winner. You came close. 06, 12, you came close. The 13 team, to me, is the one that got away. You so desperately want to believe that this is it. And unfortunately, that's not the case. Been a fan of Detroit teams. What do you say, since 78? 78? Yeah, I go back that far. You know what? I've seen the Pistons win 3 titles.
Who won the Super Bowl in 78?
In 78, it was the Cowboys over the Broncos, 27-10. So I've been very fortunate. Like I've seen the Red Wings win multiple cups. 97, 98, 02, 08. I've seen the Pistons win the 3 titles, okay? I saw the Tigers come close. I was actually at the game that the Lions won their singular playoff game against the Cowboys. But because people so desperately want to believe, there comes a point in time where you have to separate. And if something's not working, it's time to let it go. And I know that Chris Ilitch isn't going to let Al Avila go anytime soon. I know that. He should. But I know he's not going to. But you know what I can't deal with? The people that there is a right and a wrong here. This is not an opinion, okay? And yet people argue with you. And I'll never figure that out for the life of me. Al couldn't spend money. Well, that's not true. Here's the contracts. What's your argument? What are you arguing? I mean, it's a false statement. Well, look what Al has done for the Tigers farm system. It was devoid of talent. Well, let's forget for a second that he was their guy, their head scout. Let's forget that. That doesn't even count. Well, all right, so where are these kids at? Where are they at? Who is here, Detroit root, 6 years in? I like Casey Mize. Anybody else? They're all myths. You hear about them, but we don't see them. I mean, that's what we're dealing with in this town. Well, you have to like the Nomar Mazara signing because he's better than he showed in Chicago, and the Tigers can trade him at the deadline, and they can get value. Well, how'd that work out? It's insanity to me. And it's like last week when we were talking about it. Tigers got to what? 8 games under 500, and people are going, the Tigers are good. Think about that as a Lion fan, as a former Lion, okay? You have guys like me that are saying 9-7 isn't good enough, and it isn't good enough. You have human beings, living, breathing organisms that are watching this baseball team, and because they're not in last place, and because they're only 8 games under 500, the Tigers are good. Fuck out of here.
You know what that's equivalent to? It's equivalent to having a stomach ache and a headache, and you wake up the next day, see, listen, you know what? I don't have the stomach ache anymore. I still got a headache, but I feel good though. It's better than yesterday, and that's kind of what we are right now as a fan base. Yeah, we can take our little bumps and bruises and say we're good. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing?
Can we give him credit for Scrooble?
I like him. I like Mize more right now.
Oh, for sure. But Mize was a number 1 pick.
Yeah,
Scrooble, what do they get?
We'll see what happens with Scrooble.
They got him in the 9th round. That's a good get.
You know what? You want to see guys like. I mean, we can't say he's succeeded yet, but are there signs? Yeah, but I think that's been the problem. You know what always makes me laugh? Like the 2 positions, the catcher of the future and the center fielder of the future. Guys, I don't subscribe to revisionist history. Jacoby Jones was a guy that was going to be patrolling center field for years to come, right? And then after 3 years, nobody officially said, hey, this guy, it isn't working. You know what they do? They move on to the next guy. Des Cameron is going to be patrolling center field for the rest. Who's the shortstop? How many catchers of the future have we had? We've had like 3 different catchers of the future. And so what did you do? You went and picked up a guy that's kind of bounced around for a little bit. Now you're presenting him as the catcher of the future.
I bet LV.
It's insanity stuff. It is. It's insanity.
Do you bet that he'll be there as a manager for the next 2 years? Would you
Yes.
bet? Would you bet money on that?
Yes, I would.
What was the odds?
Let's see if they could find those odds on there.
Yeah.
Gosh, I want to get back to what Michael Brocker said too.
We'll get back to it.
Because I'm
We got
telling you
time.
right now, The story will be out there in the next couple weeks, and remember I said this. In the world of sports, the off-season is a time to relax and regroup after a hard-fought season. But playing with MyBookie gives you the choice to decide when your season begins and ends. At mybookie.ag, you can bet on hundreds of games and leagues from all around the world. Whether it's a game day parlay or a long shot winner, MyBookie's got you covered. Use pregame props or bet the game live to shift the odds in your favor and always come out on top. Not only does MyBookie host exclusive sports betting contests you can't find with any other book, but the bonuses are insane. So if you sign up with MyBookie and use promo code Woodward, you'll receive $1,000 in bonus money when you make the first deposit. I say it all the time, though. You've got to take the initiative, folks. Sign up, use promo code Woodward, and you get that $1,000 in extra cash when you make your first deposit with MyBookie. Just use promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. I am going to save the Lion beat writers the trouble of coming up with important leads during training camp. I'll tell you what the lead is when we come back. Woodward Sports.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
You don't form the ball at work. Hey, Joique Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Poor Bell soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Glad you
And
could
yourself?
join us. Joique, I'm going to save the beat writers, and beat writers, you know my love for you guys. You have the toughest job in town, being a beat writer for the Detroit Lion. But I'm going to save you the trouble of coming up with your leads for training camp, because you know what the lead in training camp is going to be, Joique. And if you were a player, I bet when I say this to you, if you don't already know what it is, you're going to start laughing and say, yeah, every single story is going to be how different things are. Every single one. So just get used to it. And if you want to start playing the Legoland theme of everything is awesome, you can do that too, because it's Camp Happy Times. And to Michael Brocker's point, in case you missed it, he said there are a lot of guys that are coming from that Patricia era, and the coaches are actually communicating well with the team now, and they actually talk to them now. There's his full quote. I am going to back up what Michael Brocker said and then some, okay? And Joique, while you weren't here for the Patricia era, you were here, and I've heard you comment on this, how things got so different once Bob came in, once Bob Quinn came in, and when you came back to the Detroit Lions. That room last year, and when I say last year, I wasn't in there a lot because of COVID, but in 2019, you could see the toxicity in the air. You could see it. And it was sad. It was sad going into Allen Park and seeing it, and guys wanting to get the hell out of there as quickly as they could. And, you could always count on the same 2 or 3 guys to give you a good quote, because they understand how the game is played. But it got so toxic so fast. And I'm going to say the same thing on the air that I said off the air. Here's the crazy thing about it. Matt Patricia, the individual, I really liked Matt Patricia.
Mm-hmm.
One-on-one,
I did too. One-on-one
as
talking.
an individual, I thought he was a cool dude. And there were so many times where I wanted to say it privately, because I saw him both at the field and outside the field. There were so many times I wanted to say to him, but it's not my place. Dude, if you could just act like this, you're a likable guy. You are a really likable guy.
Right.
And he just couldn't do it. He came from a place where they didn't have to do it. And the difference between he and Bill Belichick is he could flash his hand and show those pretty rings off and everything. And Matt Patricia couldn't do that. But it was, I guarantee you, if you're already sick of hearing it, you might not want to pay attention to the first couple weeks of training camp, because that is going to be the story every single day. Every single day. From players from media. Everybody's going to talk about how different it is, and everything is awesome. Your Legoland theme and Camp Happy Times and all that stuff. And here's the difference. I laugh at Camp Happy Times because you never hear a guy say, I had a terrible off season. You never hear a guy say, well, we're not sure about this position. That's why I call it Camp Happy Times. This time, I think they're going to be telling the truth. It can't, the cloud around the Detroit Lions, the culture around the Detroit Lions, couldn't get any worse.
As far as what?
I think they're going to be telling the truth about how different things are in that regard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Culture-wise. Culture-wise.
Okay. All right. Because I thought you were referring to how you'll go there and you hear people say, well, watch out for this guy.
Oh, you're always going to hear that.
Oh, this guy. Oh, he's really stepping up in camp. He's making plays. Don't have on equipment, but they're making plays. They playing hard.
I know
you hear it all the time.
I know a guy. Devin Taylor. I told you.
Yeah.
I saw Devin. I was like, whoo! I'm not saying he's going to be a Pro Bowler, but this guy's damn good and good value in the draft.
That's the guy.
I did. I loved him.
I like DT, great guy.
He looked like a physical,
feeling.
like one of those physical freaks in nature too.
No, he was so lean. He was lean. He was lean. He was long.
Yes.
He's great with getting a hand in the passing lane. Getting his hands up, making it difficult for the quarterback to get the ball over his hand. Like, that's what he was really good at. I like DT, man. I wonder how he's doing, man. I gotta reach out to him.
By the way,
what's up, Kennedy? You had a question?
Yeah, I was going to say you've trained Art so well that Kennedy
I'm doing
is
it now.
in the other room raising her hands.
No, but I was just going to bring up the fact that I've seen it a lot online. People saying that, Matt Patricia.
Look into the camera.
Matt Patricia was one way, and now Dan Campbell seems to be the polar opposite of that in the regard of the guys are having fun, they're laughing again. They're saying that now we're overcompensating, and some people are feeling like this is maybe too far,
What you're saying is that players are going to take his kindness for weakness. Is that what you're trying to say? And they're going to abuse?
It's a good point.
Abuse his
yeah,
kindness?
people are saying we should have gone with someone more in the middle, and they're thinking this is too much.
We had a person in the middle. We had Jim Caldwell.
Yeah,
he didn't like Jim Caldwell.
No, you know what the funny thing is, Kennedy. To your point, I think that's a good point. Camp Caldwell was a country club compared to Coach Patricia. It was. And some people, it's funny that you say that because you know what a lot of people thought? Literally year one, that first camp, the pendulum swung too far the other way. Some people thought that, the Caldwell Country Club was too soft. We need to get rougher. And so you know what? Maybe if the pendulum swung like that.
That's where it's at now.
Maybe. The pendulum went like that with Matt Patricia.
I played with Deuce Staley.
You were at camp. What did you think?
Staley.
What did you think during Caldwell's camps? Did you think it was country club?
No, it's always a method to the madness, right? And so it wasn't Camp Country Club. We got our work in, but we also was smart. He made sure we had our rest. And the reason that he did that is because at his time in Indianapolis, he had a player who had set out for a few weeks due to injury. When he came back, he was about the fifth or sixth fastest person on the team. But when he came back, he was flying by everyone, and he'll pay attention to his team. And he'll hear the players say, "Oh, he got fresh legs. He got fresh legs." And so he made it pivotal in his coaching career to make sure that from there on out, if he ever became a head coach, he wanted to make sure that his players get the right amount of rest, but at the same time get the work in. And so that was kind of his era. We worked Wednesday, Thursday. We worked. Friday was more of a taper back day, but we're still going to get our work in, but we need to tight knit everything that we worked on throughout the week. Saturday's a walkthrough and game times on Sunday. First half of the season, you're in on Monday, win or lose. Second half of the season, every Monday that you win on Sunday, well, every Sunday you win, you got Victory Monday. You don't have to come in. And so this is more essential. So he treated us like men. I think Dan Campbell's going to do that. I think when you have a team that's coming in, they're having fun, and they enjoy what they do. That's also another way to be successful out there on the field. Because I played with other guys who played for different teams, where say Pete Carroll in Seattle, they loved going to training camp in Seattle. They loved it. They enjoyed it. They had fun doing it. And they built a winning culture there with Pete Carroll. And so it just depends on your coaching tactic and if your team can buy into what you're selling.
Jeremy said the only way the Lions will do better than 5 wins is if every player plays way above their pay grade. My prediction is 5 wins with that brutal schedule. I'm in that same ballpark, Jeremy. We both are. I'm in that 5-6 wins. And it's okay.
6
It's okay.
months, yeah.
Can I say one thing, though? And I think you know this, but I want to say it for the benefit of people out there, okay? I think Jim Caldwell is one of the most decent men I've ever met. Like, he's just a quality human being. I didn't like his results here, okay? But I didn't dislike the man. Like, Joique and I joke about how he loves Coach Caldwell and I hate Coach Caldwell. Jim Caldwell, the person, is one of the most decent, like, good men I've ever met. And see that face? I'll tell you when I'm bullshitting. I'm not bullshitting. He a lot of respect for Coach Caldwell in that regard. And I think the players, I'll defer to the players because Joique isn't the first one to echo the sentiment. He treated us like men. Mm-hmm. And that counts for something. That definitely counts. Ask Matt Patricia.
And I tell
that
you
counts for something.
And I tell you how people buying into what you're selling can change the team. Identical rosters, 7-9, almost identical. I want to make this clear. Rosters are almost identical. 7-9 one year. Following year, different coach. 11-5.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Because I've heard this, and I don't know if we've ever talked about this. And if you don't feel comfortable answering this, don't answer it, okay? Because I don't want to put you on the spot. But since you brought that up, it popped in my head. Was there a tune-out with Coach Schwartz?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, I just tell you, he treated the offense differently than what he treated the defense. Now, he demanded, because he was the defensive coach, so he demanded. So we used to have this thing called, I forgot, game show. So every Friday, you have 2 team meetings a week. 3 if you want to include Monday. But you'll have a team meeting on Wednesday. You'll have a team meeting on Friday. And so on Friday, we'll go there. We'll go into the team meeting room. You have the players sitting down. You have all the coaches, the head coach. You have the GMs. You have all the scouts, and the scouts and the GMs, they sit in the back. And sometimes, I don't know, the owner might come in there. And we have a thing called game show. You go in there on Friday morning, and what do? They call you down to the front of the room. They'll call 1 offensive player, 1 defensive player, and 1 special teams player. You go down to the bottom, grab a marker, get on the board. What's their favorite play to run on offense? And the defensive player got to write it down. All right, when they do this, what should we look for when they come out in this? And they have to know what to look for, because coaches are they're a victim of their habits. And so usually a coach is always going to stay true to himself and what they do. And so it makes them predictable. And so when the offensive player gets up there, they'll call me up. And I was on special. I wasn't playing that much, but I was basically like a scout team guy. But they'll call me up there, and there's only 1 person a week, so you just got to be ready. Whoever they call, you got to be ready. Joique, what's their biggest blitz down the distance when they blitz? Third and 6 to 10. What's the percentage? They blitz 35% on this down the distance. What's the second? Third and 2 to 4. What's that? 24%. All right. Who's leading the team in sacks right now? Whoever that player. You have to know all of this stuff going into that meeting on Friday, because they call you up there and you don't know, and then you go out there on Sunday, you play like horse crap. That is just another negative on he doesn't take his job seriously.
Somebody had told me, and his name wasn't Joique Bell, I want to make that crystal clear, but somebody had told me that they kind of knew that Coach Schwartz was a dead man walking after the infamous Philly snow game. And that, like, the last month of the season was very difficult because everybody kind of knew that he was gone. You know, again, you don't have to comment, but that's what somebody had told me. That's what somebody had told me.
I didn't expect it. I didn't know. So somebody told you that was news to us. I remember him coming in when the season was over and basically coming in and saying that he had just been let go. He addressed the team. It was like an awkward meeting. It was kind of awkward. You didn't know how to react to it. It was
how do you respond?
How do you respond? Well, good luck to you. I didn't know what to say. You just sit there.
Hey, our friends at PAM, the Public Adjusters of Michigan, are giving you the chance to win a twosome in the 3rd annual Darren McCarty Charity Golf Outing on August 6th at the Links of Novi. The event is totally sold out, so the only way to get in is to win. To enter for your chance, go to woodwardsports.com and look for the PAM logo to register. PAM represents the insured for property insurance claims, homeowners and commercial property, fire, wind, and smoke. They get you the money and they do all the work. What a novel concept. Why wouldn't you have them do it? Call PamFirst.com. That's callPAMFirst.com. And be sure to go to woodwardsports.com and register for a chance to win a twosome in the Darren McCarty Charity Golf Outing. One of the things to be excited about, well, he and I have been very excited about, and we'll tell you about it when we come back. He's Joique Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. This is Woodward Sports.
Would you like to win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time?
Then watch as we turn this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
Watch the Call Sam Chopper Shop on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Ever since Corey's been wearing this LeBron James jersey around the network, it's been falling down a lot.
And you know, really, that's it. Dan Campbell is going to be the man for the Lions. Don't you agree, Corey? I didn't even touch you.
Hi, how are you? So glad that you can join us here on Woodward Sports. Joique, one of the things that I know you and I are both excited about, we've talked up Frank Ragnow. Hey, did you see they named him the best center in football? You and I have both talked. I love TJ Hockenson. I love him.
I like his ability. I just wanted to be more consistent.
You know what? Truth.
That's it.
I mean, you say, wow, you see that out of young players. Who knew?
I like that. I like him. No, this is, and the reason I say this, I don't want the same thing that happened to other good tight ends or young tight ends we brought in.
Sure.
And they didn't go to where we expected them to go. Eric Ebron, but he ended up getting there eventually when he went to another team. Joseph Fourier, another one. I like Joe.
He should have been a touchdown machine. He should have been.
Yeah, and so I just want him to be more consistent because he has a lot of talent. He can play a long time in this league.
You know, I think you and I look at it from a different perspective, though, because as we've talked about many times here, hey, young players are going to be inconsistent. Young players are going to have a learning curve.
They are.
And so I think if you expect greatness right away, Penei Sewell, I think you're only fooling yourself. He could be really good. But I think of what Penei Sewell is going to be next year or 2 years from now, right? That's what I look at. But in case you missed it, TJ Hockenson cracked the top 5 in another one of those preseason ranking things. And could he be there after this season? The answer is yes. Is he there right now? No. But I think he could be there after the end of the year. I like guys, top 5. At the end of the year, he could be there. I like guys where I've said this before, I watch how he physically changed himself, and I think that's the type of guy you want. A guy like that in the room. He gets it. He gets it. He's excitable. He's teachable. He wants to work. He's a culture guy. He is. I mean, just talk to TJ and you see it. I really like TJ, and I think the potential is there for him to be a top 5. Would I put him there today? No. Do I think by the end of the year that we can have that conversation?
And
I do.
And this is why I say I don't know about that. Is because of his supporting cast. He's going to be our weapon out there. You're going to have Cephas as well. It's going to be tough. It's going to be load the box and make sure we lock and put our best guy on TJ and Cephas. Now it's going to be pick your poison, which one, but we don't have that cast where he's going to have he had Galladay last year. He had Marvin Jones. So he didn't have too much heat on him. He had Cephas as well. He didn't have that much heat on him. He's going to be the guy that they have to lock down next year.
Remember Kittle a couple of years ago when all the injuries happened and they brought in that second quarterback and he just locked in on Kittle, and somehow, some way, Kittle still beat you. And that was a testament. That was a testament to how good Kittle is, and I hope that's the way. I want to make sure. I don't know if there are 4 tight ends better. The tight end position is very top heavy in the NFL. That comes from CJ. I want to get that other Lion Rumble. Ryan's reaction: wearing a Hawk jersey at my size makes sense. Just want to see more from him first. Yes, I'm talking about potential, no doubt about it.
For sure.
What's the Lion Rumble? TJ and Goff working out during the off season, potentially potent. That stuff is so important. It just is. I told you the story. I watched Kenny Galladay after he put on this show at camp. Kenny Galladay grabbing Matthew Stafford aside and working for another half hour. Can't put a price tag on that stuff.
You can't.
Can you read that comment for me, the Jeremy Fowler comment? Stick. Thank you.
You turned me up. There we go. Hockenson emerged from a cluster of young tight ends with a barrage of top 5 votes. In year 2, Hockenson made his first Pro Bowl with 67 catches for 723 yards and 6 touchdowns. He also showed the ability to separate, standing 3.28 yards from the nearest defender when targeted. Which is cool because I was watching that tight end university that Kittle and Kelsey are putting on, and they were breaking down footwork and how to get out of breaks, and they're like, listen, if you're breaking this way, you're not putting enough separation. So it's cool to see that in the second year, his footwork's right, he's coming out of breaks strong, and it's just, I love TJ Hockenson.
I'm glad that you bring that up because I say this to Joique all the time, and that's why we like doing Ballin' with Bell, Stick. Guys like you and I have watched football our whole life, right? Right, we know the game pretty well.
Yep.
We're never going to know it like these guys.
No.
Never.
Yes, you will.
No, we won't.
It's simple.
No, we won't.
It's simple.
I mean, I don't think you have to
learn.
play the game to get that cerebral mentality because, there's coaches like Belichick really wasn't an NFL player, but obviously he can think the game. But there's such a cool thing, and that's what I love about having Joique as a part of this network is you get to talk to him about behind the curtain because there's shit that we don't know. There's only things that I can watch on TV. I don't know the motivation in the locker room. I don't know the men. I don't know any of that.
When you have people who don't know, and they start talking about it, the math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing.
I told you, here, whether it be from you or
Kitty,
Coach Winters or Coach Pinkel, hearing you guys explain things, I'm just a couple weeks away from one of my favorite conversations of the year. I love going when Wayne State starts practice and Coach Winters invites me out to the middle of the field and everybody's practicing around me, and we go literally we do this every year. This is our thing. We go by positional groups. He'll go, I want you to watch this, I want you to watch that. Okay, on to the linebackers. I want you to watch this, I want you to watch that. And he points out things that helps me immensely in broadcasting the game. And picking up stuff, because there are things that it's like Stick said, the little things.
Always learning.
Yeah,
always
you always got to learn, man.
Always staying in the process, Stick.
Always got to learn.
Hey.
In NBA, Hubie Brown, I could listen to Hubie Brown talk basketball all day long because I always learn something from him. And when you're breaking down film, I learn stuff. I see a lot of the same things. All right, they have 3 blockers over here. Obviously, this is the strong side. They're going to man up on the helmet. I played high school football. I know the basics of it. But to know the motivation and why this play is drawn up, the strategery, once you get to that level, it's just beyond chess. To me, football is the ultimate chess game, and it's so cool to get brilliant minds around it.
Right, it's an important chess game because you have to be able to have 11 guys operating cohesively. Yeah, cohesively in order to make a play successful. One false move or one mistake can cause a fumble, a turnover, an interception, an injury. So you really have to make sure you're on your P's and Q's. because it's very, very little room for error in this game, and football is definitely a game of inches.
Can I ask you guys a question about Hockenson?
No.
No?
So,
ladies and gentlemen, playing the role of Art today.
My kids, why can't I ask questions? Why can't you be great, Joique? Be great. Are you going to be good today or are you going to be great?
What are we doing? I love when he does that. That's one of my favorite arts. When he gets so frustrated, he just goes, "What are we doing?"
This is the funniest thing right here. What position did Penei Sewell play? He plays defensive end, right? DN? Defensive end? Yeah, he plays that. He knows nothing about football but sits up here and argues with us.
No, but I got a riddle for you. A riddle for you about TJ Hockenson, okay?
I know it.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know, but say it.
All right.
I know
So if Stafford leaves and is a better quarterback, how is it Hockenson stays and everybody still projects him to be a better tight end with a worse quarterback?
I think two things. Jared Goff is the type of guy that I think is looking to go downfield. I think, when you see some of the wide receivers that he's had in his past, and TJ Hawkinson's a guy that can open up the middle of the field. He's now that he's got the size as well. Because, my man, it is amazing. If you can't remember what he looked like his rookie year to what he looks like now, he bulked up. I think that TJ Hawkinson's a real good fit with what Jared Goff wants to do. I wish that they had to really, all Jared Goff jokes aside, I wish that they had the type of wide receivers that help Jared Goff get to where he's at. The Lions don't have those guys right now. They don't have, those guys that are going to be the big threats and everything. They have the guy that has the potential of a big threat, but we haven't seen it in his entire career. Yeah. So this wide receiving core doesn't exactly match what I think made Jared Goff successful in LA. Is that a good way to answer it, Joique? That's phase 2 of the rebuild. I'm convinced I'm convinced Brad Holmes is going to go get a couple different wide receivers.
I would say this. I would say that Hockenson being with Stafford his first year, a quarterback like that, versus switching over now going with Goff. Do I think he's going to be better than he was last year? Yes, I would say that because he has experience now. It's kind of like going to college as a Prop 48 where you can't play your first year until you get a college credit. And you have to sit back, you have to learn the game, and you get to sit back and kind of learn who you are as a player. And I think that's what he was able to do his first year. Now coming into his second year, he'll be able to step it up another notch. He knows some more the little small tips you get from veteran tight ends that you can kind of work on in the off season because you've already when you're in this predicament, what should I do here? All right, well, try this because this is what I do and it works for me, and now you can take that and perfect it and make it your own. All right, Joique, how do you sit for him? I sit for him like this, but I added a little tweak to it that I've only told my nephew, so he uses it now, and so it works for him. And he uses it at his university. Now he's in college, and he uses it, and it works for him. But these are the things you get to kind of perfect as you go on because it's more than just lining up across from your opponent, but it gives you an opportunity to kind of say, you know what, I have an edge on you because I know something that you don't know.
My buddy Lomas Brown said the same thing about TJ Hockenson, and I think that was part of the unfortunate thing the last 2 years of the Lions. They drafted 2 guys at positions where you do not come into this league and dominate right away. And I think tight end is one of them, and obviously Jeff Okudah at corner is the other one. I mean, you are on an island. There are a lot of responsibilities out there. And the one thing that Lomas said, as a guy that, played many, many years on the offensive line, is he said, you have to consider the tight end. Not only are you expected to learn the playbook and get everything down, but it's also about your blocking responsibilities as well, because there's going to be. So he goes, literally, this is a guy that's learning 2 things at once, and I think that's why. This is where sometimes.
See, that's where I have to stop you right there.
Well, sometimes people yell at you and say that you're a hater, and we get this a lot on the show. And then sometimes people hear that and go, "Well, you're making excuses." Well, how many tight ends have come in the league year 1 and dominated? How many corners have come in the league and dominated right away? Doesn't happen that often. It doesn't happen in any position in particular really that often, but I think especially at both those positions, there's more of a learning curve for those positions than other positions.
And I would say this. The hardest thing about coming into an offense, and this is for any O-lineman, fullback, running back, you have to know what the entire O-line is doing.
Yep.
You have to know who's blocking who on certain defensive fronts. You have to know what route you have. You have to know who you're blocking. You have to know who's coming, because I would say the centers outside of quarterback, center might be the second hardest, and then it's a toss up for the third. You can say tight ends. I would say running backs, because sometimes they'll point out so rule of thumb is the O lineman, they have the 4 down lineman in the mic backer. And then on some pass protections, the running back or the tailback has the other 2 linebackers and all of the DBs. And so now I'm scanning for 6 different people. You understand? I'm scanning 2 backers, safety, free safety, and both corners. That's what I'm scanning after. And if they can throw out a lot of different looks where they're trying to disguise who's coming, and you have to stay back there. And then when you're not there, you got to make sure you get a chip on the tackle before you get out into your route to help them out with the defensive end.
Sure.
And so it's a lot of things that's happening within 3 seconds. The play's over. So you have about 0.4 to 0.5 seconds to kind of recognize what's going on the field to kind of make your transition or to fulfill your assignment. And so it's a lot of things that happens, man. And all around, it's pretty tough. It's tough, Sean.
Ozzy said Hockenson versus Kittle week 1. Who comes out on top?
Kittle. Kittle comes out on top.
The only thing is, I think the Lions are going to have to keep throwing because they're going to be down. That's my fantasy logic, right? Fantasy football logic. Well, they're going to have to keep throwing. So how much do they have to run Joique Bell? Because they're gonna be trailing by 21. All right, listen, we'll come back, wrap it up. Colin Cowherd going Colin Cowherd. Just no other way to say it. We'll come back, get into it. Woodward Sports.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back in. I missed Art today. Art.
I did.
Art, I missed you. We miss you.
You know what I miss?
We miss you.
I want Art to understand how valuable he is to this network, because I wish I can call in the night before and just be like, I'm not coming in. At all. I wish I can do that.
What are you talking about? You barely show up when you're supposed to on time.
You float here.
Yeah, float here. Well, times where I can't be here in person, I still offer the V-Mix in. Art didn't even offer the V-Mix in.
What the hell would he be doing V-Mixing in?
Huh?
Honestly, what would he be doing? He has no control. He'd just be sitting there the whole time so he could watch Art in his trailer?
I need Art.
Yes.
You need trailer cam? You want trailer cam on this show?
Yes, I do. You know how much good content that would be?
Trailer cam would be great content. I will
That'd be
admit.
great.
I am so beaten down. Yes, Art, congratulations. Today, I need you in my life, Art Smith. I do. I need
your negativity here so we can talk about your vibrators. Are you at home using your vibrators right now, getting your things in order? Is that what you're doing? It's all right, Art. That's fine. You know what? Go home.
10-7, baby. You're either on the train or you aren't.
The golf trough. Let's go. Drinking that Kool-Aid.
Drinking that Kool-Aid. Well,
we love you, Art. We all do. We all love you.
Yeah, so make sure when you come back, make sure you put some type of disinfectant on those vibrators before you come back in here.
Oh, gross. But speaking of golf
disinfecting your vibrators is gross?
No, thinking about Art using a vibrator is gross.
He always talking about it on the show.
Let's get this
to
straight.
each their own.
Yes, wash your vibrators, everyone. But anyway, speaking of Goff and Art, he was so excited yesterday.
Hold up, Kennedy. Hold up.
What?
Sean.
I hate when you do this.
I know you do. You're number one in my book, too.
Yeah, okay. I'm over that joke. Sean used it yesterday. Come up with some new content. Anyway.
See, we mentioned Art's name, and all of a sudden the salt starts flying
all
around.
the negative energy starts
Everybody's a little more salty.
Yeah.
And we start taking shots at everybody.
I love it.
Say his name.
Yes.
And yet all of a sudden the knives come out.
Oh my God, is he standing behind me now? Is he behind me?
Don't say his name, Stick.
Say it 3 times.
If you say his name, he appears.
Like the Candy Man. Go ahead, Kenny. What were you saying?
I was saying Art was very excited that he came up with Goff Trough yesterday. He wants to make a T-shirt of lions at a trough drinking blue Kool-Aid out of it, and it's all he would. He ran around the entire office, grabbed everyone. Listen to this idea that I have, and it made my heart warm and fluttered.
I told him they should have been the troughs from the Silver Dome.
Place was such a dump. Yeah, I loved it. It's our dump.
That's
it's
where a boy
dump.
became a man, though, here in Detroit. When you were like 8 years old and you had to whip out your little ding-a-lang along, and then you look down and it's just a row of 30-ass grown men's penises. It was a strange event at the Silverdome every Sunday.
Art is watching. He said, "I can V-mix in." Art, I miss you today.
Go ahead,
I am
V-mix
gonna
in.
listen. Rocket has a
Is that
special
thing
message
that
for you later on. I'm telling you right now.
You just.
Dude, that's where boys became men here in Detroit. Like, if you walked up, like, I remember being intimidated as hell, and then you just look down, and it's just a bunch of anteaters for, like, yards.
Yes, that's exactly it. And I'll tell you, when you were on the third deck of that place, okay, there's nothing like it, and there are fights all around you. It was unbelievable. Like, all the stories that you heard about the Silverdome, guess what? They're all true.
Oh, that not.
Yes,
Were
they
they
are.
having sex in the stands? So I heard that.
Yes, that. The fights were real.
They said,
I told you. Do you know how bad it got?
Would you conceive there? Your parents told you about it?
Maybe. I heard Guns N' Roses
I'm not
concert,
joking.
but
Do you know how
maybe.
bad it got? I think I told you this before. It got so bad that my buddies and I stopped going to the third floor. We did. We stopped going.
Did somebody ever get through off the third level?
I never saw anything. But the fights were real. So what we would do is we would get stick. If you remember, the end zone seats were like $10. I think it was like the big boy section or something. They were shit seats.
Yep.
But it was $10, and I didn't have to worry about, like, there were fights there all the time.
It was amazing. It was literally like a WrestleMania every time you went.
So it's like training camp in the crowd.
It was
Yes.
no, it was like a prison riot in the crowd. It was absolutely outstanding. I went to one game because to Sean's point, it was 80,000 people, so they never sold out, and this was during the era of blackouts too. So you could go walk up there game day, buy a ticket for $5, pick your damn seat. And one time I was sitting behind like these 5 fat guys, and every time they were coming up the stairs with their hands full of beer, they'd all go boom baba, boom baba, boom baba to the other fat guys walking. In the middle of this game, the dude spills a full beer on his 6-year-old son, and the kid just stands there soaked in beer for the next 3 quarters. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Boom baba, boom baba.
There were. I'm not joking. There were so many like troubles, and unfortunately, I was part of the troubles once that I just said I'm not going up there anymore. I don't trust myself. So we went downstairs. We'd get the $10 seats.
Yeah, my first NFL game, I think it was against. I think I was in Minnesota. We went to go see the Vikings play. I can't remember.
The old Metrodome.
Yeah. Or it might have been
House of Horrors. I hate that place.
Yeah. And my first Detroit game here was their last home game of the season against the Saints in 2008, the 0-16 year. And I looked in the crowd, and a guy was holding a cardboard up. It said, "New house." No, it said "New car, $25,000. New house, $300,000. Lions go 0-16. Priceless." It was a big sign.
I never understood. I never ever understood. Stick, and I'm sure you remember this. There was a huge segment of our fan base that wanted the Lions to go 0-16, and for the life of me, I'll never.
I hate those people.
I'll never understand that. Never. Oh, this franchise should own the indignity, but I'm the guy going through it. I'm the guy sitting there that last Sunday hoping and praying that they pull an upset because I don't want the indignity of 0-16. And all these wiseacres coming up and banging in my window going, oh, 0-16. Because I didn't. What? You still accomplished the same thing. If you went 1-15, you still get the #1 pick, and you're still known as one of the worst teams ever. But I never understood that. And so many people are going, yeah, man, I want them to go 0-16. I never understood that. Whatever. No. And listen, I went off on Al Avila earlier. I don't want the Tigers to suck. I think, unfortunately, they're going to suck because of the moves that he made. And you know what? Maybe if he keeps getting #1 picks, maybe they accidentally, stumble on something 5 years from now. But it certainly won't be because of the moves that he made. Whatever. So Colin Cowherd says he doesn't believe in Zach Wilson.
That's your guy.
Here is his. Okay, but I want you to. I can't say he's wrong. I don't know how Zach Wilson's going to be as a pro, okay? I love the guy. I do. I think he's phenomenal. He was so much fun to watch. Here is his comparison. Johnny Manziel.
No.
That is such a douchebag comparison. It's his. Johnny Manziel was trouble, not only with a capital T, but an ROUBLE. He was Captain Douchebag. He wore a C on his jersey that stood for Captain Douchebag. That's how much of a douchebag he was.
You know, they said that, go back to that pitch, they said Zach Wilson looks like a Disney character playing Zach Wilson.
He does.
In a football.
He does. But do you understand what I'm saying? If you want to say a guy has arrogance, okay, fine, all right?
And
there's a difference
confidence.
between arrogance and just being a douche. Johnny Manziel was a douche. He was a douche in college, and he went to the NFL, and you know what he did? He was a douche. And here's the thing, Johnny Manziel would probably admit it to you today. You don't know what a douche is?
No, what is that?
I came up with some kind
what's a douche?
of a what's it?
Like when you
Hype.
Yeah. Okay. So when you like douche,
I know what it is, but go ahead. But yeah, when you douche yourself,
you're just calling it a private part, like you're douching it.
But why is that? Is that a negative part? Because it helps clean. It helps to clean you.
I mean, it's like if I called you a dildo, you would know that was negative. If Joique, you're a dildo, you'd be like, oh.
He was.
You don't ever want to be anything that.
I give people pleasure.
A jackass. A guy that couldn't stay out of trouble. A guy that was his own worst enemy. And that's the best way to, Urban Dictionary you. That's the best way to explain Johnny Manziel. And he could not stay out of trouble.
You know what?
And it was always funny to him. Remember? I can go into a casino and flaunt money around as a college student because I'm Johnny Manziel. No, nobody's going to investigate that, Johnny. Why would anybody think that's strange? It's just he did things like that because he could. And, I think you remember the stuff in the NFL, the alleged flipping people off and stuff like that. There's a difference between being cocky or, dare I say, arrogant and being an asshole. And Johnny Manziel was an asshole.
Sean, do you think he's getting this comparison literally just because he's stunning? He's good looking.
Yes.
And that's it. He's never done anything rude that I've ever heard of.
Nothing.
All right, and so
there's no stories out there like Johnny Manziel. Nothing.
It's none.
It's a lazy take.
It's a
lazy
take.
Colin Cowherd and a lazy take. I can't believe it.
It's time to go. We talk about a-hole. We talk about douching. We talk about dildos. I thought it was a sports show.
Vibrations.
Vibrators.
Art, we miss you. Hope everything's going well, buddy. We'll see you Monday.
Hey, make sure you douche before you come back. Gang, gang.
Peace.